As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History. Proudly sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, our latest installment of We the People. We are counting down to America's 250th birthday this summer, the people, places, and things that have shaped our country into what it is today. And today we're talking about an iconic doll in American culture, right?
The Barbie on this day, March 9th, back in 1959. Barbie was born after going on display at the American Toy Fair in New York City. Despite getting her start in the Big Apple, Barbie is supposedly from the Badger State. According to toy manufacturer Mattel, she is from the fictional city of Willows, Wisconsin. While we don't know exactly where in the state Willows is supposed to be, the creator Ruth Handler said the idea of Barbie was that every girl would be able to see themselves in the doll. Having the doll be from the Midwest would make her more relatable. Although Willows may not exist, there is a village of Willow, which is located in Richland County. Barbie's origin story has changed throughout the years. In a series of books published in the 1960s, Barbie was said to have graduated from Willows High School. However, in a Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures TV program, she moved to Malibu, California when she was 8 years old. That's this day in history for March 9th.
Yeah, there's been many iterations of Barbie over the years, right? Collectors items.
Yeah, new ones come out every year.
Yeah.
They
Pretty
keep
cool.
it going.
Yeah, hey, it's an iconic brand, right? All right, thank you, Charlie.